Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to CartoonStock's newest caption contest judging. Bob Mankoff, Joel Mishon, and Lawrence Wood here. And we have a JC, a Joe Duffy cartoon this week. I'll bring it up here. We could talk about it. But Bob, do you have any stories about Joe that you want to bring up? Your first cartoon you bought, or any kind of craziness about this?
Well, the first cartoon we bought from him was, maybe I can pop it up, let me find,
He was always one of my favorites, though. He's a very, very funny.
yeah, I think he does more dirty cartoons than any of our normal cartoonists. He's, sort of whimsical bestiality cartoons. There are a lot of horses and, it's like
it's the entire category.
Yeah,
he's not here to defend himself, but we'll.
Yeah.
He's great though. He's very, 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 very funny.
Okay, here I have.
Oh, sorry, let me share. Go ahead.
So this is first cartoon he had published in the New Yorker. The dog formerly known as Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's from 1998. So. We go back a long way.
That's nice.
And I did have, I think I once had a dinner after a talking engagement with Joe, and we had dinner at a bar, and everyone knew him quite well there. A really interesting range of cartoons. He's a kind of cartoonist, even for the stuff in email that he does what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. He does silly, he does outrageous, he does, sexual, scatological, everything. I just think he has fun with this whole human-animal interface, really.
Yeah. There are lots of animals, and this is actually a typical joke cartoon because they always have these kind of high pants and the shiny shoes, and his characters are generally kind of nonplussed. Or one person might be saying something crazy, but another is kind of,
But his characters are also freaky.
Yeah, absolutely.
and the style is sort of comic grotesque. I would say not that we see here with this lovely and cute, but the dog is. So I think also it's a funny style, right? It's funny. You just look at this stuff, and it's enjoyable, funny just to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in the fact that when you draw a domestic scene, there is usually something on the wall. And a study could be done of like what artists do with those incidental paintings, right? Like, what they do. Did they do a little realistic seascape, a few mountains in the background? Probably I did that. He did this rather unusual.
A lot of people,
which called attention to themselves.
Yeah.
Where you would have someone who could look at something incidentally in every one of our contests, but here those images call out to, make a comment about, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, definitely a very, very graphic artwork, and a man, presumably the owner of the dog, doesn't have to be, but the dog is clearly talking, dog is clearly flying. There's no halo, but you can assume the dog is dead. Many people did. It's a pretty straightforward one. We don't have to, there's not too much going on. Man talking to a flying dog.
I tried to, I had a sort of strict criteria, which I didn't follow completely, but it was like, I haven't got any better wearing them, but I've got better catching them. Do we just, it could be the caption contest can be just a completely yes and. The dog is there and we don't have to explain why he's there. For me, I sort of mostly liked the thing where there was some backstory. Because I'm thinking from the view of a cartoonist that you don't, so the dog for me, and maybe I even picked one of them, the fact that God doesn't like your art doesn't need a dog. It could be an angel. It could be anything. So why does this dog have flying wings? And that's why I leaned heavily into the religious part of it. Okay, that is an explanation or some other explanation. And then, of course, so I think the caption contest is different than a normal cartoon because you're allowed to do a yes and. Okay, I don't care how the dog got there. Because if we made it as restrictive as I am, then you'd just be hard to do a lot of caption. But that was sort of that this dog is somehow dead and has come back was the best for me as a backstory for it. I picked the Red Bull one also because okay, at least that's a reason why the dog has wings. Although I didn't know that. I said, well, what is this? I had no idea what that was.
There were a lot of Red Bull. Yeah, their slogan is Red Bull gives you wings, and there was a lot of Red Bull.
Yeah, well. But that's not that good. And,
no. And there were some testicle ones too. I liked. There's a famous Sam Gross one that I can't believe was published in the New Yorker. I'll quickly share it. And the reason I shied away from
but that was also featured in the 60 Minutes thing they did of me in the New Yorker. Yeah, so that was.
Is there any chance of getting my testicles back?
Yeah, right.
So that just because my familiarity with that cartoon, not that the testicle ones weren't great, but there are a lot of testicle ones as well. But I will let me share the
let's see.
And I will put on the 7 or 8 that we had in common.
Ooh.
And we will start there and then battle it out. So again, in no order at all, these are the ones that we had in common. You just missed the genie.
Yes, I like that one.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
And there's
which is also good because that is an explanation.
Yes,
yeah, it's a good backstory.
The genie was there, and unfortunately missed it. They're fun, but I'd rather have testicles.
But I don't. But just because of the Sam Gross cartoons is. I don't know. I feel like the person knew that cartoon.
But it's nice to actually, kind of compare the two. Which would you rather have, wings or testicles?
Yeah, I think it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the comparison it is a different joke that if he could have a choice of either.
Yeah.
It's really nice, but it looks.
And I might rather be alive.
Yes.
With testicles.
It's really nice, but it looks nothing like a farm.
It's good.
I thought that was interesting in terms of the thought process that you have to do.
There were at least 2 farms.
There were a lot. There were a number. There were a number of them. That was the one I picked. Okay.
I'm in Airedale. I did not pick this one.
Who the hell? Who have you picked that?
I did not. This might have been Joel in the top 10. I did not pick this one. My vote for worst pun was I got a new leash on life, and that one. One was
well, hang on, wait a second. It wasn't just me. If it's in the list,
it's because we included the public top 10 as well, Joel.
Oh, okay, brilliant. I'd be in the public as well.
Oh, you and the goddamn public, Joel.
The public be damned.
Yeah, don't get Bob started on democracy.
Democracy. Oh God, what a bad idea that turned out to be.
I really was a good boy.
One
quick note about this. This one is actually on everybody's. And one note is we actually have one technical difficulty on the site where we can't have an underlined word or an italicized. So the person did it all caps. I can't say for certain they wanted was to be caps, italicized, underlined, etc. But
I assume that they wanted it to be italicized.
I assumed italicized as well. It came into our system all caps. We did get this identical one, not later on. It's submitted after this first one, so I'm going by this first one unless someone has a problem with the was.
Also,
it's a very nice caption.
Yeah, very good.
And there were many similar jokes, but that was the best way to phrase it.
So you guys all agree that it would be we should fix it in a way because it underlining the word or italicized.
Sure.
How far can you throw?
Hey, these are all ones I picked.
This is nice.
And that violated my thing, but it was good. I mean, because it's once again, I like the ones where you have to think a whole other step.
Yeah, but it's also nice
to put it together.
It's also
Whereas you do not with Airedale.
I had that one too, Bob. I've got a broader canvas of humor than you. That's what's going on there.
I think he's right. It's not bad. It's let's say if you didn't see any others and it was a contest and people were coming up with it, you think it's okay. It's just that we had a pretty good. I think because one of the things is we've decided, okay, we're not creating the point is not to create a very hard image challenge. The point is to get a decent image in which you get really good captions that would work as a caption contest. A lot of New Yorker caption contest winners fail because it's just not a great image to come up with a really great caption. Yeah. And here, these could definitely be regular cartoons.
No.
Yeah.
One point about this one too is it really doesn't solve our problems in making the best caption, but I appreciate a lighthearted caption that makes you feel like happy. Like it's just like a silly one that it makes you feel good after reading it.
Yeah.
I mean, in these dark.
But it would be better also if at the same time it made someone else feel bad.
Yeah, someone's expense. Great news! They caught the car. A lot of people tried to get this angle. This one seems to be the one that we like the most.
But yeah, I guess. And there was caught the car. I got the squirrel. You should see the tire.
Yeah.
And all okay. I mean, I think it's. But I don't know. It just seems like okay. But then what happened, or how come? Once again, why does he have? I guess he has a wing so he can fly fast enough to get the car. I think the.
No. I think this is. I think this is a good sick joke. The idea is it makes you think he got the car. The car ran right over him, and that's why
I see.
Yes, this is died.
And that he thinks it's great news because he died and went to heaven?
No. He thinks it's great news because he got the car, but in getting the car, he got killed.
And that's why I don't think he.
That's why he's
great news.
And the great news is that he got the car.
Yeah, I don't think that would be great news.
Well,
for a dog. I mean, there is an old joke about the dog. It's, what are they going to do when they get it?
Okay. Right, exactly. This was not in my top 10, but I appreciate it, and I think it's a pretty sick joke, and I appreciate.
Well, the one I had was good news. I caught the squirrel because they would actually want to catch the squirrel. Okay.
But then why would he? Why would he have died catching the squirrel?
Well, in that case, he just happens to be a flying dog. In that case, he just happens to be a flying dog that met a genie. And that's why he could. I see. So you're taking the thing is that he catches the car and he dies.
Yes.
But okay, this is great because we write this story, right? We actually write this story now, which is they always want to catch the car. They can't catch the car. He does catch the car, but not with the wings. Okay, he caught the car because somehow he's able to catch the car. The car kills him. He goes to heaven, and he still feels like his life has been fulfilled because he's the dog who caught the car.
It's a great example of a pure
killed him. I think the car caught him. The way I would interpret it is the car caught him, because if he just caught the car ran over him, but okay, we've that's fine. I understand what I do.
That's how
and of course it makes sense. Is I had him somehow being able to catch the car because now he had wings and could fly real fast. But
I see.
I don't know if you guys know this, but wings don't necessarily, if your dog enable you to fly fast.
I think it's safe to assume you're faster with wings.
In fact, The truth is, you can't even get off the ground if you're a dog with wings unless you're first running very, very fast and flapping. It's common knowledge. I don't know, but anyway, let's keep going.
We have, and then there is one more, also a similar grim one. By the way, you forgot to close the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I like that one as well. So
that wouldn't make anyone happy, Trevor.
No, I have a little room for happiness, but yeah. So those are ours. I'll bring it over to our. I will now share our master list here. I think right away we can get rid of Airedale.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is me and the public are outraged.
I'm going to argue. I want to argue for getting rid of Jeannie, and here's why.
Okay.
I don't think it really has anything to do with the dog. I mean, it could be.
Well, the dog wished for wings. I didn't pick Jeannie, but I think that's
but a cat could have wished for wings. A hamster could have wished for wings. It's why? How is this specific to a dog?
It doesn't have to be specific to a dog.
I mean,
I don't like the exclamation point personally.
Well, I think it. I think you're right, but I think it's. Well, let's see what we have.
Let's get to
then without it.
Let's get to 6 and start fighting here.
Yeah. I think it's but I do think it. I think it worked on the funny level.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Which is once you're left with that, you don't have much of a ground to stand on.
I know I'm gonna be outvoted, but I really don't like the farm one. It just feels clunkily worded. I'm just not a fan. But I think other people were, so I'm.
Well, one of the ways, I did get some feedback from someone said you really should be judging on, it should be a mashup of criteria like originality, thought, all of this stuff, rather than just this thing you think it was funny. You just missed.
But then shouldn't
really
it
nice.
It looks nothing like a farm. It shouldn't be. It's really nice, but it's too.
Well, what other farms were there? I mean,
I'll pull them up.
Well, which one did you take it? That they tell kids that the dog went to the farm upstate?
Yes, the dog went to a farm. Where's the dog? He went to a farm upstate.
I actually originally thought of bought the farm.
I think I was actually.
But dogs won't buy, which I don't even understand now why that phrase means what it means.
All right, so we have, I love the farm upstate. It's really nice, but it looks nothing like a farm. You'd think I'd come back from the farm. So about the farm you sent me to, just pretend I'm moving to a farm upstate. And then a really weird one, fresh from the farm to your table.
Jesus God.
No.
I think this is the best of those. I think it's the best farm joke, but I agree with Joel. It's a little clunky. I mean, I think we're going to have far better ones, I would take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight for it. I like it, but if you guys are done.
I like it too. It might have even been in my top 10, but I think we've got better ones.
The testicles, I don't know. I mean, you like the either or question.
Yeah.
How far can you throw? Great news.
How far can you throw is good.
Great news. I caught the car. Bob doesn't seem to like that one. By the way, you forgot to close the gate.
By the way, you forgot to close the gate, so he died?
Yeah.
I mean, so and the dog is happy about it. He seems sort of chirpy and he's come back.
Well, that's
I don't know.
Funny though, because
I think that does make it a little funnier, but also I don't think it's as good as some other ones that we're going to see when we go to our top 10.
Okay, let's go.
Well, can we get to 6 there? Or you want to keep them all here?
I really was a good boy. With cliche is good. I think how far can you throw is good.
Let's get rid of farm.
Yeah, get rid of the farm.
The exclamation point of Genie.
I'm not ready to totally get rid of you, Mr. Genie. I mean, there's things about it I like in that there is the contrast. Well, I think it's funny between what happened to the dog and what didn't happen to the guy. You know what I mean? So this thing that you like in a cartoon, where where there's a diminishment of someone, it's not. There's some sort of diminishment, and it's the guy in which now the dog is sort of silly. He wants wings, but the guy missed everything that could have been open to him. And also, I don't think there's any other one like that, right? And
no.
So, when we go back to things that are, I think I always felt that as cartoon editor of the New Yorker, I don't think I have to say that in that tone, but that originality did count for something and should count for something.
Let me address that, Bob, because it might have been original in this contest, but it's not in other caption contests. Just as you often have people take the easy way out by explaining a bizarre situation by implying that somebody's on drugs, very often they explain a bizarre situation by saying, "Oh, the genie was here."
Oh, really?
The genie did this. So I think it's kind of common. I don't think it's that original. And I think
maybe we should go to the videotape and see if that's actually the case. Maybe we should go to these vast databases I have in stores and see whether Lawrence is just confabulating here like some large language model and just throwing in, like that's like a tricky debater trick. You can't look it up in time, and the questioners can't fact check it. Genie, just missed the genie, indeed. Okay. Maybe. All right.
Anyway.
Let's keep that one.
After all, for me, it's the exclamation point. I don't know. Anyway, we'll go on.
All right. Let's
All right. We haven't. I thought this was going to be easy. It turns out this is like one of the most contentious contests that we've ever had.
Well, I will say, it really was a good boy. It was the first time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that was across every single person.
Well, that's good. That's going to be the winner.
Spoiler
alert.
Please stay until the end, everybody. Here we go.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna go get lunch now. So here we go. Joe, I really was a good boy. Sorry, Cupid is booked solid. Good news, I got that squirrel. Great news, I caught the car. I had a Red Bull. By the way, you forgot to close the gate. When the wind is right, I can mark the whole county. There's a lot of poop and pee ones. I'm your dog's guardian angel. He needs to walk more, and frankly, so do you. Dyslexics often wind up with fairy dog mothers. Are you ready for this? They gave me new testicles. And I did ask Joe, since he has laryngitis, I asked him for his favorite. And he said...
hold on. Could we please put the dog?
I can mute Bob. I just muted Bob, so we'll remind me to unmute him. But and my dog is now up and angry about this.
So Trevor, is your shirt a reference to your daughter?
Yeah, I have a daughter named Goldie. I actually just realized that this is from like an LA brewery where they have a golden ale named Goldie, 3 Weavers. So okay. I actually meant to look up to see how they're doing right now and how the brewery is doing in Los Angeles. But here's Bob. But yes, my daughter is named.
Unmute, Trevor.
Yeah, Bob, can you turn your? Yeah, I turned off your mic. You have to. Can you just click the bottom mic on? There you go.
There you go.
So yeah, I was just explaining the shirt. I do have a daughter named Goldie, and it's a golden ale from a 3 Weavers Brewing in Los Angeles has a Goldie beer. But Joe's favorite was, are you ready for this? They gave me new testicles. So his is also very happy, but that didn't make it.
So there were more than one testicle joke?
There were a few testicles.
I think the other testicle joke is better. The contrasting wings and testicles. Which would you rather have?
But there were 4 testicle jokes. They were fun, but I'd rather have testicles. I came back for my testicles. Maybe God will give me back my testicles. Are you ready for this? They gave me new testicles. I'm okay with how we are. We can add it.
No, I'm
No.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe.
Joe.
We'll get back to Joe when we get his original caption. So on to you, Lawrence.
All right, so I really was a good boy. I'm bred to chase flying squirrels. I'm not going to fight for that. St. Peter thought I was a good dog. It's the same joke.
That's
really
the same.
boy.
As
Yeah, they're fun, but I'd rather have testicles. We've talked about enough. At least you waited until I died before you hung the cat's artwork. I kind of like that because it addressed the art on the wall and also the animosity between dogs and cats. I had it's really nice, but it looks nothing like a farm, but I don't want that in the top 6. And I haven't seen a single cat. Another, about cats and how evil they are. I like this one. You look like you stopped going for walks. So there's a whole story there that, the guy was in better shape when the dog was alive because he had to walk him every day. And now he looks a little out of shape. So good to see you again, still keeping the rat poison next to the dog food. I didn't laugh out loud. And I thought that's a variation on you left the gate open, but I think this is much better.
I think that's funny. That's actually funny.
It is.
Yeah, that is funny.
We're in definitely would never be a regular caption, but we some wiggle room here. The other one is just blah. I left the gate out, and here it's just the writing is funny there.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last one is where'd I go? There I am. I just scared the shit out of the mailman. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, I originally had that as one of the 20, I guess, and the mailman freaked the mailman out. But I don't necessarily think
good.
That's good. Okay.
Well, the two that I would fight for. You look like you stopped going for walks, and the rat poison.
Okay.
I'll put this one in the captions and we can see how it looks. The one about the walks I get, but Joe's guys, their pants are always like up to their nipples. I feel like all of Joe's guys are a little chubby.
No,
it's true. I'm a little too familiar with how his people all look like they could use a walk. I'll throw that on and we can see how it looks as well. All right, so I'll move on to mine. I barked up the wrong tree, the gate one. I wanted to do something about the paintings because so many people talked about them. The one that I kind of like, no one else put at all, is I think you should be directing these questions to the breeder. But I just thought that was it was everything was dead dog, and explaining it that way. And I thought this was another angle to and I think that
I know, but that
the tone of the caption, like the way it's delivered, is a funny way as well.
But I'm assuming that it's his dog. You know what I mean? And so somehow this dog that was bred, and now it's the first time the guy sees that it has wings. I mean, it's his dog. It's not a random dog. I guess some people think it's a random dog because there's a caption with something like "You left the window," or "What did you think? You left the window open," and therefore I'm assuming that means that this dog just flew in.
Mm-hmm.
Which okay.
And then now, do you believe we can't eat chocolate? But it's another one. There were a couple chocolate ones as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
And this is the one I did like the most. All right, Joel.
Don't again tonally. I think you need work on how you introduced me, but I'll go for it.
All right, well, here we go, Joel. Come in.
All right.
Joel.
Well, as long as you don't make his first name 2 syllables. All right, Joel.
All right, Joel. No, it's really just because we have to talk about Airedale again.
So I'm pretty happy that I got so many hits with the final 6. So I really was a good boy. I'm an Airedale. So you forgot to close the gates. Miss Jeannie. How far can you throw? I did. Lawrence preempted me because I did a couple of the hallucinogenic ones. So I did.
And Lawrence is looking in the broader context as someone who has won the caption contest.
So
Okay,
I had.
so he's looking in the broader of of really how many, and there are so many. Okay, what's this weird thing? It's because people are on drugs.
Yeah, so I quite again. It might be something. It might be quite hacky because I don't know. But so I had. Are you sure that the first gummy wasn't working? Which is that joke, Lawrence. But the sort of better, sort of more subtle version of that was don't even think about operating any heavy equipment, which is another way into the same thing and more subtly done. But I wouldn't particularly find.
And so it's not a bad. That's like not a bad drug joke. Because it's not saying, there's another step, but
but again, I'm quite happy with my with how I did. So I'm happy to move on.
And now, Bob. Sorry.
Okay. I really was a good boy. Should I get my tether? I sort of thought that was interesting because he's a flying dog and wants to go for a walk. He would need a tether. Just missed the genie. Turns out you can have two masters. So that's clever. You know what I mean? So, and it's original. Okay. Yeah. Except now Lawrence has come out. Well, it turns out there are a lot of two masters jokes.
That's such a cliche.
So that's good because that's smart. How far can you throw? That's a good. Hi, I'm your spiritual support dog. I mean, that's not bad. I found the Red Bull. That explains the wings. Will you take me out for a hover? And I thought that was, once again, there's no other hover in there. That's like an original caption. So I was a good boy. Turns out you can have two masters. Those are the ones that I think are, if I were going to pick like ones that I think of mine that were good, I would definitely go. It turns out you can have two masters because that's a clever idea.
What about the last one, Bob?
What?
The 10th one.
It was the artwork that killed me.
Yeah, it was the artwork that killed me. So I did. It was that addressed this artwork, but which I thought maybe needed to be addressed because it was unusual. People, as I was saying before, people do look at incidental things here, but this incidental thing called out. Now it would never be an actual cartoon. No cartoonist would ever draw that picture and then think, okay, this is the caption part.
But Bob, you had a problem with his happy face delivering these lines before. And in this situation, he has a super happy face delivering the line. It doesn't bother you in this situation.
Which one? It was the artwork that killed me?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's just that I was just looking for, I don't like it very much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But
isn't that what makes
I mean, the dog is a wise guy. He's delivering a caption. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, frankly, the whole good news I caught the car, the fact that he ends up dead is like, what is so the good news then is sort of complicated.
I think it's just that the dogs are happy all the time.
It doesn't bother me that the dog is happy, but
I think part of the joke is dogs are happy no matter what. They'll be smiling no matter what news they're delivering.
Nice move, like that. They are truly, see, I wouldn't say happy. I would call them insane. So there's a slight difference. Okay, so what I would fight for, I wanted two masters. One, I do like. I don't know. I mean, I think "Will you take me out for a hover" is interesting. It's a funny word at the end. When you write it as a caption, "Will you take me out for a hover," is interesting because he's a flying dog, or maybe he doesn't. And the tether. So that's, but I don't fight with it. I'll go with the two masters, and I'm okay with. Okay, let's move on. Let's try to finish this. It's so hard.
All right, now our wonderful customers. We're very grateful for. This is what we got. This is actually theirs are in order.
Okay.
Whenever we give ours, it's in any order, but this is actually in the order of.
Oh, there it is.
I really was a good boy. I bet you thought I was just playing dead. I finally learned how to play dead. So they did like the joke about playing dead and really being dead, which we didn't actually include in any of ours. I've come to fetch you. Great news. I caught the car. We'll be playing fetch sooner than you think. They're fun, but I'd rather.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's all right. That's good.
that's another grim one. They're fun. I'd rather have testicles. I'm an Airedale.
Joel, we shouldn't have allowed Joel to vote.
Want to watch a mailman lose his mind? I'd like to request permission to land on the couch.
Hi, honey.
I can mute Bob here.
Yep.
Just in case he gets too.
Well, let's see. Trevor, you talk about our wonderful customers the same way you talk about Joel. Your tone is the same.
No. I love all cartoons.
Well, me and the customers are going to diverge here because I really dislike the fact that there's two playing dead jokes really high up in third and fourth, and they're just not really jokes. They're so obvious. There's no real leap you're making there. It's just
there is a joke to be had there, but yes, they didn't.
Right.
What the playing dead ones?
Yeah,
they're not. There's no leap of anything. It's just.
No,
There's a dead dog. I'll say it's a dead dog.
Well, I finally learned how to play dead. Doesn't really make sense because
that one doesn't
get you.
And I bet you thought I was just playing. I mean, then it's just playing dead. But you want to, it just.
It's also too long. I bet you thought I was just playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come to fetch you. What is he like, the angel of death now?
Yeah, that's the one where he says, sooner than you think. We'll be playing.
Well, I've come to fetch you. Those two are all right.
That's sooner than you think.
Yeah, that's good.
That one's not really even funny.
I think that's actually pretty good because there's a whole implication there. All right.
All right, well, I'll chuck it in there. And let me put this. It definitely looks dark when I put it on the caption. All right, well, we are. We wanted to put Bob's two masters as well, and let's share the image. So we have all of our cartoons. Let me just make this last one. And so here we go. Turns out you can serve two master. I'm not gonna. If anyone wants to fight for it, I can leave it off the top 6. But it's a clever.
I'm fighting for it. Fighting for it tooth and nail and foot. Yeah. It's original and it's got an interesting idea, and it's not very funny, but everything doesn't have to be funny. Remember just look at the New Yorker.
Oh Jesus!
We're gonna go after them now.
And it's very relatable.
We like this one. All right, we'll keep it. Keep it in for now. We'll be playing fetch, and then sooner than you think.
I had that in my top 10 originally. I like it. It's good and dark.
Yeah,
it's not good enough for the top 6, though. Really, is it?
No, I think we have to compare it to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's none that we got rid of yet. I think you should be directing these questions to the breeder.
No.
That's a loud no from Lauren. So the loudest voices get the.
Oh, right. That's how we're playing it. Okay.
All right.
Get her out of here.
You look like you stopped going for walks.
I like it.
It's not to get back at you, Lawrence, but I'm not feeling it.
There was one that's sort of funny, which was something like, "You're bald."
Yeah, There's a lot. There was one that you were.
I sort of like that because
that was good.
I think that's better in a way. He's flying. He's up there. You never, the dog is always looking up. I would go for something like that as unusual. Also.
Yeah, I also thought of that one, but I don't know. There were a lot about just the height that he's now taller.
But that's not the same thing.
No.
So it's good to see you. I mean, this is like a weird caption because it's quite long, but funny. So it's good to see you again. Or it should be just good to see you again. Keeping the rat poison next to the dog food, which you would think, in fact, he would be going for the guy's throat.
Right, but then again, it highlights just the fact that dogs, you can do anything to them, and they're just happy to see.
You can't lock your wife in the trunk and then open it up.
Terrible joke.
She'll be happy to see you. You can't put your dog in the trunk and open it up, and the dog will be ecstatic.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. This is one of the ones that made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
So we're sticking here. We're not. This is staying in for now.
Yeah, let's stay there.
All right. You just missed the genie. This is a controversial one. I think it's staying.
No.
Wasn't it only Lawrence who was?
I like it. I'm not again.
I'm in the middle of the road for it.
Let's keep that in. We gave Lawrence something that. This is all politics now. It has actually nothing to do with the contest.
They're fun, but I'd rather have testicles.
I agree. It's probably somebody who saw the old Sam.
I think it's just it's a very well known cartoon, and it's also Dogs in Heaven. Okay, and I don't know. I just feel that you can't rip. I'm not saying that person did rip.
No, I don't think so either. Because in this cartoon, it is a possible either or. Like he could have gotten wings or testicles, but it didn't. Right. It didn't. If it had that more tightly, maybe. But otherwise, yes, I'm okay. All righty.
So that one's out.
Yep, taking one out.
It's a good one.
It's really nice, but it looks nothing like a farm. We're done with that.
No.
Officially done with this one. Okay, I'm in Airedale. We don't even have to show.
Oh!
I don't know. Well, maybe we should just. I really was a good boy.
This one, I just want to make it. I'm assuming it was italics. We're going to go back and look at the.
But he did capitalize it, right?
Yes, but you can't submit something as italicized or underlined.
I think when somebody does that, we just change it to underlined or italicized.
He or she.
He or she, exactly. Yeah.
He or she.
He or she. We have to. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt that it was either italicized or underlined. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Right, because he couldn't do
right. Or she.
Yeah, he or she couldn't submit it. Our text field for caption doesn't take that in. We'll talk to tech about it.
We will.
talk to tech.
We'll talk to them quite severely.
How far can you throw?
Been good at the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure now.
I mean, that's the problem with this is you go over, these are all pretty good captions, and then keep comparing one to the other. Yeah, so, okay, no, not how far can you throw, although it's a reasonable caption.
Yeah, it's good. I'm taking it out.
Yeah.
Great news. I caught the car.
All right, fine.
Like it.
I like it too.
Terrible. Go ahead.
And then this one is very similar to it, but also funny. By the way, forgot to close the gate.
No, the rat poison.
We already had the whole rat.
Rat poison's better?
Yeah, rat poison's a lot better.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. We have 6.
Right.
Right.
So let's quickly go through very quick. Turns out you can serve 2 masters.
Okay, that's not going to win, but because I'm the only one who really likes it.
We'll be playing fetch sooner than you think.
I think, even though I don't want to go back over stuff, I think it's quite weak. But
oh no, it's good.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's good and dark. Yeah.
And our public knows what they're talking about. That was their That was up.
Oh, so Lawrence and the public are now in lockstep.
That's true. I don't like going along with the public, but I will this one.
So good to see you again. Still keeping the rat poison next to the dog food. This one is funny. It grows on me, this one.
Yeah.
You just missed the genie. This
Yeah, that's fine. Leave it in, for God's sakes.
all right. But it's not winning.
Not winning.
I really was a good boy.
I think that should be the winner. That's a regular cartoon, and
I think is everyone is in agreement of that.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm okay with that. I want to look up that winner. There were a couple close ones, and we just have to look at the timestamp. So
I think it's pretty.
I didn't see anything that was phrased just that way, and I think that's the best wording.
Yeah.
So actually,
yeah,
on 12/17, right when we opened the caption contest, John Conno, Konno, I really was a good boy with the capital was, and I think he's the winner. He is the winner.
There it is.
John, I don't mean to be anticlimactic for him.
First thought, best thought.
I do want to quickly say I really was a good boy with the was regular. Was submitted by a John Substanovich on January 4th. So it was a week, 2 weeks later, and it's not about the word. I'm sorry, John Substanovich, but John Konno was ahead of you.
Well, also I think the emphasis is important. I think
the emphasis is okay.
I really was a good boy. I really was a good boy.
But then there are 4 others that are not, but those are exact except for the emphasis. Then there was told you I was a good boy. Well, look who was a good boy after all. See, I really was a good boy. And then their definitive proof I was a good boy.
There was one about I had one of my top 10 that was about St. Peter thought I was a good boy. St. Peter thought I was a good boy.
Why didn't that come up when I search here? But yes.
But anyway, it's I think that's
a good dog. St. Peter thought I was a good dog.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, congratulations.
Once again to John Konno. I think he won recently.
John, no, I really was a good boy. Congratulations, John. And thank you everyone for submitting, and thank you for the great puns. And
what was Duffy's?
Oh, I'm sorry. Duffy's original. Right.
Duffy's original was, in my opinion, it turns out our having sex over and over again did not prohibit me from going to heaven. I'm just channeling. Duffy's kinds of cartoons.
All right, so his and again with a caveat, all of these are unsold cartoons. So Joe writes, my original not very good caption was, sure, I could grant those 3 wishes, but I believe you'll appreciate the value of health, love, and money much more if you continue not having them.
What? So he's the dog's the genie?
So there was so say his caption over again.
I'm going to put it, it's so long, I'm just going to put it on here really quick. Because it's you know what? Let me put it here, because it's a very long caption. All right, so here we go. Sure, I could grant those 3 wishes, but I believe you'll appreciate the value of health, love, and money much more if you continue not having them.
So it's a dog genie?
That is so.
I wish Joe was here to talk about it. Yeah, I don't.
Is that a trope? I mean, do flying dogs grant wishes? Is that?
Well, he did say it was just not very good caption. But yeah, that was very unexpected. And he is a very unexpected cartoonist.
He's a great cartoonist.
He's a wonderful cartoonist. I'm going to ask ChatGPT of flying dogs.
But yeah, well, thank you.
But if they do, you'd be better off not having them.
No,
turns out.
Well, thank you everyone for watching this. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and enjoy the next one by Peter Cooper. And goodbye, everybody.
All right, very good.